I'm Jane Powell. Welcome to Community Connections, brought to you by the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation. We are a show showcasing community involvement, and I have two guests today, Loren Farmer, the Executive Director of Burdette Center, and Rachel Millner, a Junior Master Gardener Coordinator. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Hello.
We have so much to talk about, and there's so much about each of your programs and how they work together that I want to hear about. But why don't you tell me a little bit about Burdette Center?
Okay. Well, the Burdette Center is a nonprofit after-school program located on the west side of Charleston. Our mission is to provide west side children and families with opportunities for holistic development for healthy futures. So when I say holistic development, I mean spiritual, social, emotional, intellectual. So we really try to reach out and help the child in as many ways as we can with their development. And we do that through our after-school programming. We serve kids in grades kindergarten through 12th grade.
That's a lot of kids.
It is. We have about 120 kids registered right now and enrolled. We average probably about 76 total students among our 3 sites on any given day. So our main site is at Emmanuel Baptist Church, and we have probably 60 average kids there a day. And then we have a second program at Calvary Baptist Church. We have 12 kids registered there and average 10 a day. And then our newest program is at North Charleston Baptist Church on Woodward Drive beside Grandview Elementary. And we have 22 kids registered there, and we average about 18 kids a day.
I think that's the program I had a chance to visit earlier this month.
Yes, it was.
And there were kids everywhere. But they were, I mean, it was organized chaos. They were in the gym playing. They were at tables doing activities. So it was fun to watch.
Yeah, we often refer to it as organized chaos. We really try to keep them engaged, but we want them to have fun at the same time. So we usually have a lot going on, especially at our sites where we have more kids. We have multiple things going on at the same time.
Right. Well, with that age bracket, you'd have to, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, try to keep the activities to about half an hour so they don't lose interest. But we do a wide variety of things with the kids. Typically, whenever the kids come, no matter what site it is, they start with some free time in the gym. And they also have a supper, which is provided through the Child and Adult Care Food Program.
That's great.
So we provide them a nutritional supper every day. And then after that, they typically do homework. We have our staff that assist those who have homework. Those who don't, we'll get them on a reading program on the tablet, or they might work on some apps on the tablet that the school uses with them. And then after that, there's a variety of activities given any given day. So some of those include Second Step, which is a research-based curriculum that we've used for a number of years, and it is used to help teach the kids social emotional skills. So they're learning about emotions, how to properly deal with their emotions, learning how to self-calm, self-soothe, that
Great
kind
idea.
of thing. Yeah. And we've seen it work really well with some of the kids that have some more difficulty regulating their emotions. It's helped them to learn to do that better. So that's one program we do. We also try to do STEM programming, so that stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. So we do different activities with the kids. I know one that we did recently was we had a peanut butter jar of water, and we put shaving cream on top, and that was supposed to represent a cloud. And then you drop food coloring on the shaving cream, and once it becomes saturated, like when the cloud becomes saturated with water, then it starts to drop through like rain. So that was really cool.
Very visual.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, we've got some really great staff members who are very creative and resourceful and come up with a lot of great ideas for the kids. And then outside of that, we also do 2 new programs. The Junior Master Gardener program and also the Healthy Habits program. So Healthy Habits talks a lot about energy balance, energy in, energy out, helping them make healthy choices. And then the Junior Master Gardener does more of learning about plants, how to grow your own food, learning about soil, that kind of thing. And Rachel is actually our Junior Master Gardener coordinator, so she goes from site to site. She goes to our 3 sites with the Burdette Center, and she also goes to Pro Kids, which is on the East End.
Great.
And does the Junior Master program with the kids, and she can tell you a little bit more about what she does with that.
Yeah, I love really getting the kids thinking about where their food comes from and how everything they do stems back to a plant.
Right.
So many of them do not realize that. So one of my favorite activities that we've done recently is actually have them pretend to be a seed. And so they pretend to be a seed, and then we act like we're getting rained on, and the sun comes out, and then they grow their first leaf and become the whole plant. And so we do it when they're too close and too far away, so they understand plant spacing as well. So while they're doing this, they're learning this lifelong skill of how to grow their own food, as well as how to respect nature, and then also about they're more likely to try their food if they actually grow it too. So how hard is it to get a kid to try a fruit or a vegetable for the first time?
Oh, right. But they're invested in it if they've grown it from the seed. So that's wonderful. So I have seen community gardens. So are they actually out there in the dirt, or do you garden in pots in a classroom?
We do it in both ways. So
Soil. I should say soil.
Yes.
Please
soil.
correct me. Not dirt, soil. I know better.
So we actually do a little bit of both. I think it's good to get them started inside, especially if they've never, spent much time outside. There's this new term out there called plant blindness, where so many kids spend so much time behind a screen or inside, they don't even know what an actual plant is. So actually bring it inside to a place where they're more comfortable. I think it's good at first, and then moving them outside where they can actually be in the garden. And the Burdette Center is great. We've worked with schools next door, and they actually have full gardens on their property too. So yesterday we were bringing out some of our high school, middle school kids, getting the gardens ready for spring. So they were pulling out dirt and weed, and they were seeing worms, and they were absolutely thrilled to see worms. Like,
what kid doesn't love worms? So yes, but that's good. It makes them enjoy
Even
it.
in middle school.
Yeah, even in middle school.
Yeah, I love that. I know in my own garden I'm planting lettuce and radishes and onions, and it's time. It's time to start digging around a little bit, and I love that.
Yeah, right now your root crops, anything that grows under the ground, and then also your lettuces and kales are really great too.
And I'm guessing that once it gets big enough, you guys will harvest it and have a feast.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's the plan.
If they grow it and try it, they'll like it.
That's right. So, I mean, they're experiencing it, they're getting to be a seed and grow into a plant and then plant them. And we talked a little bit about why it's so important, but why is it so important for kids to love gardening and understand gardening?
Well, it's for the health of the world, because if they're more respectful to plants, then they're going to, that's just treating the world better. And then for themselves, too, for their whole being, because you need to eat fruits and vegetables to live.
Right.
And especially when we live in a place where it's so easy to go through the drive-through or, just go buy all those frozen meals, we're becoming very disconnected with our food. And so if they're growing it, they're realizing, our pizza comes from a plant. I had no idea there's tomatoes and basils in there.
And it's economical.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's economical for a family to have a small garden
Right.
or a large garden.
Yeah.
And even it teaches them responsibility. I mean, if they don't care for their garden, then it's not going to survive. It's not going to produce the way that they want it to. So
That's right.
really teaches them how to take care of things and also to be responsible for something and take the sense of pride and ownership they have in that.
Oh, yeah.
I like the community aspect of it, because if you're going to grow something, more than likely you're going to grow way too much for just you.
And share.
Yeah.
And so everyone has to be on board and know
Right.
what's growing there, and then they can feed everyone rather than just themselves. When
I
we live in a
love
world
that.
where everything is pre-portioned.
Right.
and-
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and they've taken, in previous years, they've taken some of the produce to the food kitchen down the street at Harvest Time Fellowship.
Nice.
And they've, taken it home to their families. And then we've done little taste tests and just been able to share it with the people in the community. We've had people just walk by while we're working the garden. We'll just hand them a tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then it shares your program.
Right.
And they get to learn about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that leads me into the question, what type of impact is Burdette Center making?
Well, I think we make multiple impacts. One, we're providing a safe place for kids to go after school, but It's important that people understand that we're more than just like a daycare,
Mm-hmm.
that we do have impacts in the lives of children and families. For one, we're able to help them get their homework done and able to help them academically. In addition to homework help, we do tutoring. We have certified teachers that come in and work in math and reading, and so we're able to help those kids get their grades up and also do better on some of those assessments. And then in terms of the family economically, I mean, child care is a huge expense.
Yes, it is.
And I think what I've read, the average cost of just after school care is about $50 a week for one child. So if a
I
family
imagine
has
that's
multiple children, that gets expensive very quickly. If you multiply that out, it's about $1,800 a school year for one child for after school care.
It's a lot.
So for working families, for single parent families, you know, their budgets are already stretched so thin. We're able to help them, you know, redirect some money that they may have spent on child care towards, you know, the family budget,
Right.
food, rents, utilities, the necessities.
Yeah.
And also with our food program, we've been able to provide quite a few meals to the kids. I know so far this year, between August and the present, we've served almost 7,000 suppers to children
Wow.
in our programs.
So
And
they're not going home hungry.
right, so they're getting fed, and in addition to the suppers, we also do snacks. So they're getting plenty of food while they're there. They're getting, you know, educational assistance. They're building relationships with other students, with our staff, other people in the community who come in to work with them, and so it's many varied impacts that we have.
So all of this that you do, which is quite a lot for 3 locations,
Right.
How are you funded?
That's a good question. So we have multiple sources of funding. One of our largest sources is the 21st Century Community Learning Centers grant, which is through the West Virginia Department of Education. It's a federal grant. However, we also have local funding, organizations, foundations, such as the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation, provide support. And we also have individuals and businesses that donate. This year and the previous year, we've had a neighborhood investment program credits.
Right? The
So,
NIPS?
yeah, so donors who make qualifying contributions can get tax credits. And then we're also planning our first annual Charlie West Barbecue Fest event, which will be May 14th, noon to 6 at Magic Island. So that's a Saturday.
Oh, and I think we have that logo
Yeah,
on the
there
screen.
it
That's
is.
right. That's great.
So we're really, really excited about this. We're going to have both a professional and a home cook barbecue competition, and the public can go buy tasting tickets, but we'll also have barbecue available for sale by professional vendors.
Nice.
There'll be a children's art competition, and it should be a lot of fun. We'll have live music throughout the whole day.
Oh, great.
I've got a list of bands. We've got the Josh Pantry Christian Band, Knockin' Spirits, Your Lucky Stars, Groove Heavy, and then Big Jer and his rockin' mandolin is going to play in between sets, so it
And I
should
bet-
be a lot of fun.
And I bet this information is on your website and on your social media.
Yes, we have it on, we actually have a Facebook page, Charlie West Barbecue Fest, and then on the website as well, we have some information at bobburdetcenter.org.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So people can go there. And then I guess that's a great way that they could contact you if they were interested in volunteering, if they're interested in donating to your
Yes.
programs. They can get in touch with you through your website.
Yes, there's actually a link on the website for donating, and also all of our contact information is there as well.
Great.
Yeah.
You guys, I love hearing about what you're doing. Confession, I am a Master Gardener, so I love hearing about the Junior Master Gardener and your involvement there. And Loren, what you're doing in all 3 sites is really, it's quite amazing. Hats off to you.
Well, thank you. We enjoy it. It's an adventure every day.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
This has been Community Connections, brought to you by the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation. Come back and see us next time.